Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is finally here, and this was like one of the most anticipated Marvel movie of this year. And like each year, each and every Marvel fan is just waiting for this movie to hit the big screens. But does this movie live up to the hype? We'll have to see about that. I am here to give you my honest opinion on the film, and I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between. So, without wasting any time, let's just start with it. So, as we all know, that this is the third installment in the Ant-Man Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise, and this movie is the direct continuation of the second one. And in this movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp find themselves exploring the quantum realm, interacting with new, strange creatures, and embarking on an adventure that pushes them beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. So I watched this movie yesterday and I'm a big Ant-Man fan. I mean, I just love this character. The first movie was a real big surprise for me when I saw it. I just loved that film. It had a lot of humor, it had a lot of action, and Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, I just loved him. And the second movie was a bit disappointing according to me because but it did have its fair share of moments sprinkled to the movie. But yeah, I'm very happy to say that this movie did not disappoint me. This movie will not disappoint any Marvel fan. But this is not a perfect movie by any means. I still think that the first part is much better than this. But this is a very solid entry to the franchise. I mean, this movie is action packed with a lot of emotions, with a lot of humor to balance it out. The addition of a new cast member, Cassie Lang, I mean, that character brings a very fresh perspective to the film, and the banter between all these characters is always joyful to watch. And the relationship between the Cassie and her father is one of the most highlighted moments of the film. So Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly once again shines as Ant-Man and the Wasp respectively. Their on-screen chemistry is fantastic to watch. Like I said before, the banter that they share, the dialogue exchange that they do is very humorous, it's very witty, and it's always a joy to watch. And Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer also did a very good job with their characters. Michelle Pfeiffer this time has like like a big role as compared to the other films. I mean, in last film she was just there for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but in this film she plays a very important role, and I think she did a pretty good job with it. So the major complaint that I had with the previous two Ant-Man movies was the villain of the film. I mean, both of the movies had very weak villains. I mean, the motivation was not clear, or I mean, why the villain is there. Everything was just very convoluted and it was very weak as a villain. But I'm very happy to say that in this movie, the most standout performance was given by Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. I mean, this villain is definitely going on my top five lists of MCU villains. Jonathan Majors bring a commanding presence to the character of Kang. I mean, he really lives up to the name. Kang the Conqueror is the best part of the film, like I said before. And as we all know, that he's a very powerful guy. I mean, this is a very formidable adversary for our heroes. His backstory is very fascinating, and the motivations of this villain are very clear and are very understandable, which really makes him a very nuanced villain as compared to the other villains that we are used to watch in a Marvel film. And I just love Kang the Conqueror. Like I said before, he's one of my favorite villains in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, let's just talk about the bad things in this movie. There are a few flaws in this film that I just cannot ignore. Firstly, some of the jokes felt really flat. It was really awkward at that moment in theater. It really felt like the movie was trying to be too funny at times. It was really trying very hard, but yeah, it did not work. And secondly, I think the plot of the movie is a bit convoluted. It's a bit confusing. The screenplay can be a little bit confusing at times, which and I in that perspective also I really felt that the movie was trying to do a lot of things in the limited amount of time that they had, and this led to some of the underdevelopment of characters. A lot of characters in this film did not get enough screen time, and that felt really very rushed in the perspective of storytelling. But yeah, other than these flaws, I think this movie was a great watch. and I only think that these are some of the things that were missing in the film. So I'm giving this movie a rating of 3 star out of 5. Overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun movie, and it is definitely worth a watch. I know that this is not a perfect movie. There are a few flaws, but this is a very strong addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I am sure that the fans of the franchise will not be disappointed by this film. Thank you so much, guys, as always, for watching this review. If you like the video, please hit on that like button, share it with your friends, and yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments below what do you think of the film if you have watched it or you're planning on seeing it. Till then, have a good one.